welcome. For the past 3 days, NDTV has been on the ground bringing you absolutely shocking stories from the national capital as the capital witnesses unprecedented floods. And today, the focus shifted to ITO, the ski road here that connects South Delhi to Central Delhi and parts of North Delhi as well. Well, as water, flooded this particular road, we saw the water minister, Delhi chief minister, and also the Delhi lieutenant governor on the spot as a key drain regulator also went out of order today. So that shows the extent of the crisis here in the national capital, given that now there's a water crisis as well, a drinking water crisis, and of course, traffic snarls, huge traffic jams. And as we've been reporting through the day and through the past couple of days, people are finding it difficult to actually sustain in their homes because many of them are trapped, many of them also without food supplies, without water supply, and mobility is a big issue as well. In fact, let me try and go across to some people who are here at ITO as the Delhi battles this unprecedented crisis here. Sir, आपका ही हम सुबह से ये देख रहे हैं कि लोग चल के वापस जा रहे हैं यहाँ से अपने काम में और कितना मुश्किल है ये कम्यूट.
चले आपकी फोटो भी लूँगा.
जी बताइए.
बहुत बुरा हाल है सर. मैं इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन में आया था
जी,
लेकिन मैं एंट्री नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ क्योंकि इतना पानी है इधर
जी
कि वहाँ पे कोई एंट्री एग्जिट नहीं हो रहा. वहाँ पे लोग भी नहीं आए हुए हैं.
बिल्कुल.
पूरा सेक्रेटरीट का ऑफिस वहाँ से ऑपरेट ही नहीं कर रहा है और उनसे फॉलो भी नहीं कर पा रहे हैं हम.
बिल्कुल. So of course people coming to work facing major difficulties. In fact here people actually have to use this divider to cross through because the roads are completely flooded, and this is the first time we are seeing that a key road in the national capital is also completely flooded. आप लोग काम से वापस आ रहे हैं?
Yes sir.
तो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट क्योंकि पूरी यहाँ पे रोड्स ब्लॉक हो गए हैं किसी तरीके से. आप
तो पानी खाली था थोड़ा बहुत, तो अब तो ज़्यादा पानी भर गया थोड़ा. अब जाने में दिक्कत होगी सबको, रोड भी डिफिकल्ट होगा.
और आप लोग जॉब वाले लोग हैं तो घर पे भी नहीं बैठ सकते, जाना पड़ेगा.
जाना तो पड़ेगा सर, बिल्कुल जॉब तो जाना ही पड़ेगा
जी.
और सर जॉब उसके दरमियान तो कुछ होगा ही नहीं और आने जाने में सर बड़ी तकलीफ हो रही है.
So of course, if you think that this is something that is extremely shocking, you should see all our reports from yesterday where we've been showing how people in areas like the Yamuna Bazaar, also other parts of North Delhi are actually wading through 25 to 30 feet deep water to actually get, drinking water supplies and food supplies for their families. So you can imagine the situation there. Now this water that I'm currently standing in, as I keep going further, it keeps getting deeper, and this is, extremely dangerous water because this is also a source of vector-borne diseases. In fact, that is something that experts have warned about as well, saying that this water is very dangerous when it comes to your health. And also, now given the fact that these drain regulators are also going out of gear, going out of order, the big worry is if this water continues to flood these roads. This will also give rise to, vector-borne diseases like dengue and malaria. My colleague Priyanshi is also now joining me on the broadcast. She has been on the ground, the entire NDTV team with our camera persons, our producers, and also our entire crew has been on the ground bringing you these stories. Priyanshi, you're joining us from Mayur Vihar. Before we, you talk about that particular area, talk to us about your experience in the past over 2 days of covering these floods. Absolutely unprecedented. Talk to us about your experience. How difficult was it? How challenging was it?
Vedant, to be honest, I didn't think I would see something like this in Delhi, and I don't think anybody in Delhi would have thought that. We had always heard our elders telling us in Delhi that there was a flood in the year 1978, that there was water everywhere, but nobody thought that those scenes could be seen again in the national capital. But we witnessed something that was even worse than that, and that is destroyed and completely turned upside down more lives than that. These scenes that we've seen in the national capital of water entering the Raj Ghat, of water just around the Red Fort, a river flowing just around the Red Fort, of water here in Mayur Vihar, water in crucial locations just around the Supreme Court of India, then water in ITO as you've been reporting. This is something that nobody would have ever thought. You see these visuals, you see some water logging during rain, but it has not rained in Delhi for the last 3 days. And this is not water logging that we are talking about. The extent of water that we are talking about here has swallowed houses, Vedant. And as we've been showing our viewers, this particular visual right behind me is heartbreaking, because when you see a lot of people are even questioning the Delhi government over this, saying that the Delhi government promised and they had a vision to make the city of a city of lakes. But this lake-like landscape that you're seeing right now is not a landscape at all. Under this, there are houses of thousands of families that have been swallowed by the river Yamuna. And I'm going to show you how these people are living now that their houses are gone. They're living on these temporary shelters here on an under construction flyover. This is an under construction flyover in Mayur Vihar. And they've been living here because they say that the Delhi government shelters that have been built are just not enough for thousands of people. Right behind me, I'm going to give you a whole view of how the situation is, how bad the situation is, and what are the consequences. So I've showed you that this is, now, let me also tell you that the water is starting from right here. Whereas just about 5 days ago or a week ago, the water would be around 1 kilometer away from this. So around where you're seeing those stars, that's where the Yamuna water would start. But now the water is right under this flyover and it has swallowed houses. And even there you can see there's a roof of a black hut that we can see. But that's one roof that's visible. There are so many houses for which you can't even see the roofs, and they're completely submerged. We've spoken to people also around here who tell us that there are several cows, buffaloes, and unfortunately it's feared that there are some people also inside. As we go deeper, the water will cross at least my height. It goes up to around 10 to 15 feet. And that has pushed people out of their homes, and they're now living in these makeshift tents. Some people are living on these in these shelters which have been made by the Delhi government. But as I've mentioned, they are clearly not enough to accommodate thousands of people. We've showed you, and even there you will see that these shelters have been made by the Delhi government, but for food and water, for basic things, people did not even get their gas stove. Absolutely. From their houses, because they just didn't have the time, because the water went completely above their head, quite literally, in just a matter of a day. So they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared with all of their stuff packed up, and they had to leave everything behind, and they've just come with whatever they had in hand, and now they are struggling for basic facilities such as food and water. And Vedant, as we've been telling our viewers, that even if the water level is coming down, it sure is coming down since last evening, but that's not making the situation any better for these people, because they've lost their houses, they've lost what they built all their lives, and it'll take them weeks, if not months, to reclaim that and to get back to normalcy.
So Priyanshu, of course, as you've been reporting, now there's a humanitarian crisis that is unfolding after those unprecedented floods. Let's also go across to my colleague Tanushri Pandey, who's joining us from the banks of the river Yamuna. Tanushri, what is the situation today? And also take us through, the crucial developments of the day, because of course, as I said earlier, the big development was that water came to ITO, and also some sort of political standoff also that we saw between Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Delhi Lieutenant Governor. How much has the Yamuna water receded, and what does it really mean? Does it mean people are going to get some respite in the days to come?
That's right. That's right. I'm going to take it forward from, as Priyanshi said, that it's the water level is receding. We are right now at the Yamuna bank in the national capital. The same river which was flowing to its brim yesterday is now started to recede. It was at 208.65 meters, which is approximately 4 meters more than the danger level. Now it has come down to 208.25 meters. As we speak right now, it's flowing at 208.23 meters, which is still more than the danger level, but fortunately enough, the water level has started to recede down. Now, usually, Vedant, just for the benefit of our viewers, I would like to tell them that usually this river, the Yamuna river in the national capital, flows between 195 to 198 meters. Only after incessant rains, and once Haryana started to release water from the Hathni Kund barrage, from Sunday, it started to shoot up. Sunday, it went up
That's right. So Tanushree there reporting from the banks of the river Yamuna, and as she's saying, the water has receded, but only marginally so, since morning. But the government has said that the situation will get better from today evening. Let's go back across to Tanushree. Tanushree, go ahead.
One point of time, and when Yamuna water was flowing beside Red Fort, many people said that the river is taking its natural course. But having said that, the worst sufferers remains to be the people of Delhi. At least 16,500 people have been evacuated, as Priyanshi was mentioning. More than 14,000 of them are living in shelters, on makeshift camps, and many are also living on the streets. Now, experts will say that, these are floodplains. These are mostly people who were living on the floodplains alongside the bank of river Yamuna. But when we ask these people that, these were floodplains, there should never have been any settlement, and this is in a way illegal. These people only can tell you that they were forced to do it because this was their only livelihood. Living beside Yamuna, living on the river banks, as these are farmers, was their only livelihood, which is completely now lost. But fortunately enough, the water level has now started to go down. So we can actually hope for the best in the next 2 days to come, that the water level will recede to its normal, and the places which are right now inundated, facing a flood-like situation, is actually going to go back to normalcy. But at least for today and tomorrow, the situation remains to be grim, at least on the ground. And that's why at least 10 schools in a civil line zone, which are completely inundated, have been shut till Sunday, and 7 schools in Shahadra have been shut. So the schools are going to be shut till Sunday. Universities are going to be shut. Arvind Kejriwal has also asked private entities, private companies, to ask their employees to work from home until and unless it's a necessary or it's an essential job or service they have to provide. So this is the situation, a never seen before, unprecedented situation which Delhi faced in the last 3-4 days. And today is some sort of a relief, at least as far as Yamuna is concerned, that the water level has now started to recede. It stands at 208.25, which is still above the danger level, but at least fortunately enough, it has started to recede, and let's hope that it keeps receding until it reaches its normal level, which is 195 to 198 in the next 2 days to come. Back to you, Vidya.
Right, and Priyanshi, going across to you, we've been reporting from, inside the water literally, and not just here, but also in, other states which are inundated because of the floods. And, many people would turn around and ask as to what's the need really to stand in the water. But, this is to give our viewers a sense of how deep the water is, and these are no far-flung roads of the national capital. They're right in the middle of the national capital, where I'm standing in ITO, where you are standing in Mayur Vihar, which are completely flooded because of this unprecedented situation. So also talk to us about, Priyanshi, what is the situation in these relief camps? People have been evacuated from various parts, low-lying areas, etc. What is the situation in these relief camps and these shelter tents that have been erected?
So I'm walking on one path to a relief camp, and you would have never thought that this would be a path to a relief camp, which is an under construction bridge. And good that you mentioned that several people questioned that what's the need to go inside the water to show how bad the situation is. That tells you how deep the water is and how deep a level these people have been living in for the past couple of days. And while these people have made it out from the water, several are still stranded. So that story needs to be told, Vedant, and that's what we've been trying to do for the past couple of days, to show how people are living. For us, it's just a few hours of reporting. We are just in the knee-deep or waist-deep water to give out that news. But for these people, that has been their lives. Their real life turned into a complete... similar to that movie Parasite that was made, that also got several awards, where water just kept entering your house and it just kept getting elevated. So that was a movie, but these people saw that situation happening in real life. And I'm going to show you some of these relief camps now. As I've told you that many people didn't make it to the Delhi government relief camps. So they are living, they've made their own shelters, they've made these makeshift shelters, and they're just living here. Let's try and speak to this lady here. मैम, अगर हम आपसे बात कर सके तो आप यहाँ यमुना पे रहती थी?
जी मैम।
जी, तो कहाँ आपका घर था? क्या वो भी पूरी तरह से डूब चुका?
जी मैम।
यहाँ से कितनी दूर था?
यहाँ से हम लोग को तो ऐसे सूखा रहते तो आधा घंटा लगता है आने में, और फिलहाल पानी में तो 1-1 घंटा लग गया था निकलने में हम लोग को।
तो मतलब करीब आधा घंटा दूर आपका घर है यहाँ से पैदल चलने का, और वहाँ पे कितना ऊपर तक पानी है जो आपने लास्ट देखा जब आप निकल के आए?
हम जब आए थे तो हम इतने पानी में आए थे,
गले तक पानी था।
हाँ
जी, और अब उससे भी ऊपर जा चुका होगा
जी।
तो कब आप लोग निकल के आए, और वो निकल के आना कैसा था? आपको
हम
अपना सब कुछ छोड़ के आना
घर
पड़ा?
को छोड़ के मतलब आए थे यहाँ पे 2:30-3 बजे के करीब यहाँ आए थे, तो हमारे यहाँ पानी था, और 4 बजे तक हमारे हस्बैंड के यहाँ तक पानी आ गया था।
और
वो
ऊपर?
हाँ,
अच्छा,
मतलब पानी का रफ्तार बहुत तेजी से बढ़ रहा था।
तो मतलब नीचे से ऊपर तक कितने घंटे में या कितने दिन में आपकी पूरी जिंदगी बदल गई?
ये हम सुबह तो मतलब ठीक था, सुबह से लेके 4 बजे तक मतलब इतना पानी हमारे सर तक आ गया था यहाँ।
तो मतलब कुछ ही घंटों में पानी आपके सर के ऊपर पहुंच गया।
जी मैम।
तो ये बताइए कि फिर तो आपको तैयारी नहीं होगी कि निकल के जाना है, कहीं सुरक्षित जगह जाना है, तो काफी सामान छूट गया होगा, जो सब आपने जिंदगी में वहाँ जोड़ा होगा अपने घर में, कितनी चीजें छूट गई होंगी पीछे?
कुछ तो छूट ही गई, क्योंकि पूरा सामान ला ही नहीं पाए, पानी इतना ऊपर चढ़ गया कि पानी निकालते निकालते सामान काफी समय लग गया। शाम के 4 बज गए थे, उसके बाद नहीं गए, जो छूट गया सो छूट गया,
मौका ही नहीं मिल पाया वो सामान लाने का। बच्चे भी हैं आपके साथ, मैं देख रही हूँ,
ये दोनों बच्चे
तो
हैं।
उनके साथ भी कितनी
Right,
परेशानियां आई
and
होगी, तो वो
Priyanshi,
भी
you
अंदर
know,
होंगे, और
what
जब
you've
पानी
been
का level
reporting
बढ़ रहा
on and all these visuals really are for the history books. I'm really sorry for interrupting you. I'm told we're going over on time. But now what Delhi is really staring at is a drinking water crisis. After the floods, the focus is now shifted to drinking water, because 3 key water treatment plants have now been shut after they were completely submerged, completely inundated. Today, the Water Commission announced that these 3 water treatment plants will be shut. Now, this means that almost 1/3 of Delhi, their water supply will be disrupted because of these water treatment plants being shut down. My colleague Parimal was in Wazirabad, where one of the water treatment plants was shut down, and their people had actually queued up outside hand pumps to get their daily share of drinking water. Take a look at his report.
दिल्ली में इस वक्त पानी को लेकर परेशानी है, चाहे वो बाढ़ का पानी हो, चाहे पीने का पानी हो। और फिलहाल हम वजीराबाद इलाके में हैं, जो वजीराबाद बिल्कुल यमुना से सटा हुआ इलाका है। पिछले 3 दिनों से बिजली की सप्लाई ठप है, पानी जो पीने का पानी जल बोर्ड सप्लाई करती है उसको लेकर दिक्कत है। और सिर्फ वजीराबाद नहीं है, सिविल लाइंस, हिंदूराव हॉस्पिटल वाला इलाका, कमला नगर, शक्ति नगर, करोल बाग, पहाड़गंज, NDMC का इलाका हो, राजेंद्र नगर का इलाका हो, पटेल नगर का इलाका हो, बलजीत नगर हो, इंदरपुरी हो, कालकाजी, गोविंदपुरी, तुगलकाबाद हो, संगम विहार हो, अंबेडकर नगर हो, प्रहलादपुर हो, रामलीला ग्राउंड हो, और साथ में सुभाष पार्क, मॉडल टाउन, गुलाबी बाग, पंजाबी बाग, जहांगीरपुरी, मूलचंद, साउथ एक्स, ग्रेटर कैलाश, ताहिरपुर, सोनिया विहार, यमुना विहार, भजनपुरा, शास्त्री पार्क, गोंडा, सीमापुरी, ये तमाम इलाके हैं जिनमें पीने की पानी की समस्या है, क्योंकि 3 वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट वहाँ पे पानी जमा होने की वजह से बंद कर दिए गए हैं। चाहे वो चंद्रावल हो, चाहे ओखला हो, चाहे सोनिया विहार का वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट हो। और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि पूरी लाइन लगी हुई है। जहाँ पे मेट्रो में टैप कल्चर की बात होती है, वहाँ हैंड पंप के ज़रिए पानी जो है, पीने का पानी लोग इंतजाम करने में जुटे हुए हैं, और क्योंकि समस्या जो है अपने आप में गंभीर है। और कब से पानी आप लोग को पीने वाला नहीं आ रहा है?
हो गए 2 दिन तो हो ही गए।
2 दिन?
हाँ, 2 दिन से।
तो हैंड पंप से निकालने?
हैंड पंप से ले रहे हैं। लाइट नहीं है, लाइट की इतनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम लाइट की है ना, बच्चे हैं।
लाइट कब से नहीं होगी? परसों रात 1 बजे से?
परसों रात से लाइट नहीं है, परसों रात से लाइट नहीं है।
और पानी की सप्लाई भी नहीं?
पानी की सप्लाई नहीं।
तो ये पीने वाला ही पानी है?
कर रहे, काम चला रहे, पीने वाला तो है नहीं वैसे, लेकिन काम चलाना पड़ रहा है।
नहीं तो खरीदना पड़ेगा?
खरीदना पड़ेगा पीने के
तो
लिए।
खरीद भी रहे हैं क्या आप लोग?
खरीद ही रहे हैं, ये पानी को कहाँ यूज हो पाएगा, ये तो हो ही नहीं पाएगा।
और भी लोग हैं, जहाँ पे देखिए बकेट है, डब्बा है, जिसके जरिए लोग आए हुए हैं। किसी के घर के आगे ये हैंड पंप लगा हुआ है, जहाँ से कोशिश हो रही है कि किसी तरीके से प्यास बुझाई जा सके। और लोगों से बात करते हैं। ये पीने के काम में आ जाता है?
नहीं।
हाँ,
नहीं, काम करने के लिए।
काम करने के लिए खरीदते भी हैं पीने का पानी?
हाँ, खरीदते हैं।
अब तक जो टैप में पानी आता होगा उसी से ये पानी भी काम चलता होगा, कपड़ा धोने का या बर्तन साफ करने का?
हाँ, आता है।
तो उस पानी के लिए आप इससे काम चला रहे हैं?
हाँ।
नहीं तो पीने के लिए खरीदते हैं पानी?
हाँ। खरीदते हैं पीने के लिए।
इन 2 दिनों में कितना पैसा का पानी खरीद लिया होगा सर? परेशानी तो है, लेकिन
लगभग
हम
100
समझना
रुपए
चाह
को
रहे
तो मैं स्पेशल खरीदा हूँ।
हैं। क्या
मैं तो खुद स्पेशल 100 रुपए का खरीदा हूँ।
खरीदे हैं?
हाँ
आप भी खरीदे बाबा?
हाँ जी
हाँ,
हाँ
2-3 दिनों में कितना पानी खरीद के पी लिए?
100 रुपए खरीद लिए।
एक बोतल कितने का आता है?
40 रुपए के।
40 रुपए का। 40 रुपए का एक बोतल। और इस तरीके से हालात हैं। एक जगह से ये चीज़ों को समझाने की कोशिश है कि किस तरीके से पानी को लेके एक हाहाकार की स्थिति है, चाहे वो बाढ़ का पानी हो, चाहे वो पीने का पानी हो। तो हर कोई एक जगह पे, जैसे टैंकर पे मारामारी होती है, उसी तरीके से हैंड पंप जो एक जगह पे है कॉलोनी में, वहाँ पर आप देखिए कि किस तरीके से लोग ज़रूरत का काम। आप इसको पीने के काम में लाएंगे या बाकी चीज़ें?
हर चीज़ में लाऊंगा अभी,
हर चीज़ में काम लाएंगे?
बिल्कुल मजबूरी है अभी, क्योंकि अभी पानी तो 3 दिन तक नहीं आएगी। और घर में जो
कब से नहीं आ रही है पानी?
कल से नहीं आ रही,
कल से नहीं आ रही।
कल सुबह से मॉर्निंग।
खरीद कर नहीं पिया अभी तक, इसी से काम चल रहा है।
हाँ इसी, क्योंकि छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं तो अभी तो इसी से काम करना पड़ेगा।
तो तकलीफ का एक पूरा अंबार है और पानी पर फिलहाल हाहाकार है।